week from now, Kyrie and I will be on Easter Island, a trip that has been a long time in the making and is just super exciting. Ever since I was a kid, Easter Island has held a huge fascination for me. We all know the stories of aliens taking the Moai there and confusion about how the Moai were moved and where the Rapa Nui people came from. But what I've learned as I've got older is that the reality of the whole situation is far more exciting. So the fact that we're going there is just such a thrill to me. So why Easter Island? I mean, there's the obvious things. The Moai will be so amazing to photograph through the night, and obviously for me to light paint around it. I've never seen any light painting around the Moai ever. So that's a huge attraction. But if I'm really honest, it's the adventure. I mean, let's have a think about how far away it is. So we're going to be traveling all the way from Adelaide, all the way across the Pacific, over the top of Easter Island to Chile, and we'll be staying there for a day, and then we're going to come back across to Easter Island. The amazing thing is that we fly over Easter Island on the way over, but this is from Australia across to Chile is 12,000 kilometers, and coming back to Easter Island is 4,000 kilometers. So it's phenomenally remote. In fact, I'm pretty sure that Easter Island is the most remote inhabited place on the planet. Anyway, it's incredible. You know, I think to myself, and this is part of the mystery of the island, I think to myself, you know, the Rapa Nui people travelled by boat, you know, in about 400 AD from Polynesia in tiny little boats all the way across the Pacific, and somehow managed to hit that tiny little piece of land, which is astonishing in itself. I think personally that adds to the mystery of the island. And then of course we've got the Moai. I mean, these things are huge. It's so hard when you see photographs of them to comprehend how big they are. I am so excited about going and creating some photography and time lapse. And of course, the thing I'm most excited about is the light painting. So this is the first video in quite a long series. There's going to be a batch leading up to the trip this week, where I'll be talking to you about equipment that we're taking, how I've planned the trip, setting up for what we're going to be doing on the island, and I'm looking forward to sharing that stuff with you. We're traveling 16,000 kilometers to get to this place, and like I say, it's something I've been fantasizing about doing for a long time. I am just so humbled to be partnering with Olympus Australia on the trip. I'm an Olympus visionary, which means they engage with me to challenge the equipment, challenge photography. I love to push boundaries, and I love doing that in exciting ways, and to be doing it with Olympus equipment is just amazing. I love the gear, it suits what I do, and of course when you're a travel photographer, an adventure photographer, like I like to think I am, working with this type of equipment is superb. So a massive thank you to Olympus. You'll see we'll be working a lot with their gear. We're going to be on Easter Island for 8 full nights across Easter and across the full moon, which you all know that I love. So we've got 8 nights to create a body of work, and there's going to be a lot of that. I'm not planning on doing a lot of sleeping. I'm planning on creating a lot of images. We're going to be producing some tutorials for Olympus using the Olympus gear. We're going to be doing some on live composite, live time, and we're going to be producing and showing you how to create amazing time-lapse images using the Olympus gear. Let's think about some of the challenges, and I'll tell you what, on a trip like this, there's a bunch of them. The first one that I think about is that we have to be ultra prepared. There are no camera shops on Easter Island. So if we forget one thing, if I forget one light painting tool that I wanted to take, we're kind of in trouble. So there's a lot of lists, there's a lot of lists on whiteboards, there's spreadsheets, there's bags already prepped a week out, just to make sure that we have everything that we're going to need on the island. I'll be checking, Kyrie will be checking, I'll probably get Ben to check that I've got everything. So that's really important. Another real challenge, and something that I'm really conscious of on this trip and on a lot of the trips I do is the historical and cultural significance of a place like Easter Island. And one of the challenges that comes with that is you can do as much research as possible online. You can read travel guides, you can even read the Easter Island tourism website guides around what you can and can't do, access to different places. But when I'm traveling to a place like this, there's an incredibly fine line between being creative and creating a body of work, but also being amazingly respectful of the significance of a site like this, respectful of the local people, respectful of their heritage and their history in a place like this. Now, I want to be creating images around the Moai and around different parts of the island that clearly place my light painting images at the Moai. But something I need to be really conscious of is you can't just go up and stand around some of them. I know you can get close to some. I've seen photographs of people touching the Moai, but I'm going to the island with no preconceived ideas about what I can and cannot do. I'll be playing it by ear when I get there. I'll be asking a lot of questions of the locals, but basically just being super respectful. So any images that you see when I come back, you can be absolutely sure were taken with all of that in mind. Of course, I want to go back. And if you go to a place and be disrespectful around it and come back with images that you clearly should not have got, chances are they might not be so friendly the next time you go. So it's an exciting time. Easter Island, light painting. I'll be there with Kyrie, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is the first video in the series. We're going to be taking a look at the cameras and gear that I'm taking. I want to talk to you about some technical things, about audio. We'll go through all of the light painting equipment that I'm taking. I'll show you some of the planning. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm looking forward to taking you on the journey with me to Easter Island. It's going to be amazing, and I'm super excited.